Let me ask you something. Have you ever stood in your tiny apartment, your small condo, your townhouse with the postage stamp yard, and thought to yourself that growing your own fruit was just a dream? That was never going to happen for someone in your living situation. Have you scrolled through gorgeous Instagram photos of orchards and backyard fruit trees, feeling that little pang of jealousy mixed with disappointment because you assumed all of that was simply impossible without owning acres of land? Well, I am here today to completely shatter that belief and tell you something genuinely exciting. You can absolutely grow your own fruit trees, even if all you have is a sunny balcony, a small patio, or even just a sunny corner near a big window. Cork fruit growing is honestly one of the best-kept secrets in the entire gardening world. And once you discover what is possible, you will probably find yourself collecting potted fruit trees the way other people collect houseplants. We are talking about real fruit trees that produce real, delicious, harvestable fruit, all happily growing in pots on a balcony, deck, or patio. Many of these dwarf varieties have been specifically bred to thrive in containers, producing full-sized fruit on compact trees that stay manageable in size, while giving you the absolute joy of harvesting your own homegrown fruit just steps from your kitchen. The taste of a sun-warmed lemon picked off your own tree is honestly something every food lover deserves to experience at least once in their life. Today, I am sharing 9 of the absolute best fruit trees you can grow in containers, the ones that thrive in pots, produce reliable harvests, and bring that magical sense of abundance to even the smallest outdoor space. These are the trees I personally recommend to every single friend who lives in an apartment, condo, or small home and dreams of harvesting their own fresh fruit. I will tell you exactly which varieties to choose, how big a pot you need, what kind of care these trees require, and the little tricks that turn an ordinary balcony into a productive miniature orchard. Stick with me until the end, because fruit tree number 5 is genuinely the easiest fruit tree any beginner can grow. And the final tree on this list produces some of the most exotic and delicious fruit you will ever taste right from your own balcony. Let us get growing. Point 1. Meyer lemon. Starting our list at number 1 is the absolutely magical Meyer lemon, which is honestly the gateway drug into container fruit gardening for most people. If you have only ever experienced regular grocery store lemons, you genuinely have no idea what you have been missing your entire life. Meyer lemons are a cross between a regular lemon and a mandarin orange, giving them an incredible sweetness, a beautiful golden orange color when fully ripe, and a complex flavor that is genuinely worlds away from the harsh tartness of standard supermarket lemons. They are absolutely perfect for container growing, staying naturally compact and producing fruit even when the tree is quite small. A Meyer lemon tree in a pot can start producing fruit within just 2 to 3 years of planting, and a healthy mature tree will give you dozens of lemons every single year from one small container. The trees produce intensely fragrant white flowers that will perfume your entire patio for weeks at a time, and you might even have flowers, immature green fruit, and ripe yellow lemons all on the same tree at once. Plant your Meyer lemon in a 15 to 20 gallon pot with well-drained citrus potting mix. Place it in your sunniest spot and water deeply when the top inch of soil feels dry. In cold climates, bring the tree indoors for winter and place it near your sunniest window. Feed it monthly with citrus fertilizer during the growing season, and you will be harvesting your own incredible homegrown lemons before you know it too. Fig tree. Number 2 on our list is the fig tree, which is honestly one of the most rewarding and surprisingly easy fruit trees you can possibly grow in a container. Fresh figs are one of those fruits that you almost never see at grocery stores because they are so delicate and perishable, which means growing your own is basically the only way to experience their incredible honeyed sweetness and that uniquely soft, jam-like texture that is genuinely unlike any other fruit on earth. Fig trees actually thrive in containers because the restricted root space encourages them to focus their energy on producing fruit rather than just growing taller and bigger. Excellent container fig varieties include Brown Turkey, Celeste, Chicago Hardy, and Petite Negra, all of which stay manageable in containers while producing absolutely abundant harvests of delicious sweet figs. Plant your fig tree in a 15 to 20 gallon pot with rich, well-drained potting soil. and place it in full sun for the best fruit production possible. Fig trees are surprisingly drought-tolerant once established, requiring much less water than most fruit trees, and they have very few pest or disease problems to worry about. In cold climates, you can move the dormant tree into an unheated garage, basement, or cool indoor space for the winter months. A single mature fig tree in a pot can produce 30 to 50 figs in a single season, giving you fresh fruit you simply cannot buy anywhere at any price. 3. Pomegranate. At number 3, we have the pomegranate tree, an absolutely stunning, ornamental fruit tree that produces gorgeous red-orange flowers in summer, followed by those iconic ruby-red fruits packed with hundreds of jewel-like seeds that are absolutely bursting with flavor and antioxidants. Pomegranate trees are surprisingly compact and well-suited to container growing, with several dwarf varieties specifically bred to thrive in pots while still producing full-sized, delicious fruit. They have an incredibly long history of being grown in containers, in courtyards and patios across the Mediterranean region for thousands of years. The variety Wonderful is the standard commercial pomegranate, but it can get quite large. So for container growing, look specifically for dwarf varieties like Nana, Provence, or State Fair, all of which stay much more manageable while still producing abundant fruit. Plant your pomegranate in a 15 to 20 gallon pot with well-drained soil and place it in full sun for maximum flower and fruit production. Pomegranates are remarkably drought-tolerant and actually prefer to dry out somewhat between waterings, which makes them genuinely forgiving for slightly forgetful gardeners. The flowers alone are worth growing the tree, with their gorgeous trumpet-shaped blooms in vibrant orange-red, attracting hummingbirds throughout summer. Hardy outdoors in zones 7 through 10, pomegranates can be brought indoors for winter. In colder climates, point 4. Calamandan orange. Number 4 is the Calamandan orange, which is honestly one of the most decorative and productive citrus trees you can grow in any container, anywhere. The Calamandan produces small orange fruits about the size of a large grape, with an incredibly tart, tangy flavor that falls somewhere between a kumquat and a lime. Calamandan oranges are wildly popular in Filipino, Vietnamese, and other Southeast Asian cuisines, where they are used to brighten up countless savory dishes, sauces, marinades, and refreshing summer drinks. The trees are absolutely beautiful, with glossy dark green foliage, fragrant white flowers, and bright orange fruits all at once. Calamandan trees stay naturally small and compact, making them genuinely perfect for container growing on patios, balconies, or even indoors near a bright sunny window. A mature calamandan in a pot can produce literally hundreds of small orange fruits in a single year, providing more tart citrus flavor than most families can possibly use. The fruits are too sour to eat raw straight from the tree, but they make absolutely incredible marmalade, preserves, salad dressings, and the famous Filipino calamansi juice that is genuinely refreshing on a hot summer day. Plant in a 10 to 15 gallon pot with well-drained citrus potting mix. Give it your sunniest spot and feed regularly with citrus fertilizer. Bring it indoors for winter if you live in a cold climate, and place it near your brightest window. 5. Columnar apple tree. And here we are at number 5, the easiest fruit tree any beginner can possibly grow, as I promised you at the beginning of this video. Columnar apple trees, also known as colonnade or pillar apples, are an absolutely revolutionary type of apple tree, specifically bred to grow straight up like a column with very short side branches, eliminating the need for complicated pruning and dramatically reducing the space the tree requires. We are talking about a real apple tree that produces full-sized, delicious apples, but only takes up about 2 feet of horizontal space in your garden or on your patio. Excellent columnar apple varieties include North Pole, which produces classic red apples similar to Macintosh, Scarlet Sentinel with bright red sweet apples, and Golden Sentinel offering gorgeous yellow-green sweet apples. Most apple trees require a second compatible variety nearby for proper cross-pollination to set fruit, so plan to grow at least 2 columnar apples together for the best harvests possible. Plant them in 20-gallon pots with rich, well-drained potting soil and place them in full sun. Columnar apples are hardy in zones 4 through 9, easily surviving cold winters outdoors in most climates without any special protection. A single columnar apple tree can produce 10 to 20 pounds of delicious fresh apples per year once it reaches mature size, providing more than enough homegrown apples for snacking, baking pies, and making your own fresh applesauce. 6. Dwarf peach. Number 6 on our list is the dwarf peach tree. And let me tell you, biting into a sun-warmed homegrown peach picked fresh from your own tree is honestly one of life's most genuinely sublime experiences. Store-bought peaches simply cannot compare to fully ripened, tree-picked fruit, because commercial peaches are always picked while still firm and underripe so they can survive shipping. Dwarf peach varieties have been specifically bred to stay small enough for container growing while producing those incredible, juicy peaches that are absolutely bursting with flavor and sweetness from the very first bite. Excellent container peach varieties include Bonanza, which is a true genetic dwarf staying around 5 feet tall while producing full-sized, delicious peaches, and Pix Z with its sweet golden peaches on a compact tree. Honey Babe is another wonderful choice, producing small, sweet peaches on an extremely compact tree perfect for smaller patios. Plant your dwarf peach in a 20-gallon pot with well-drained soil and place it in full sun. Peaches are self-pollinating, so you only need a single tree to get fruit, which is genuinely fantastic for small space gardeners. The trees produce absolutely beautiful pink flowers in early spring before the leaves emerge, providing stunning ornamental value even before the fruit starts forming. Hardy in zones 5 through 9, dwarf peaches can survive winter outdoors in most regions with their pots wrapped in insulation for cold protection. 7. Blueberry bush. At number 7, we have the blueberry bush, which technically is not really a tree but absolutely deserves its place on this list because of how incredibly well it performs in containers and how many delicious berries it produces in a small space. Blueberries are honestly one of the very best fruits to grow in pots because they actually require highly acidic soil that most other plants will not tolerate, making container growing the genuinely ideal approach since you have complete and total control over the soil conditions. Plus, fresh homegrown blueberries are absolutely incredible, way sweeter and more flavorful than anything you can buy at any grocery store anywhere. Excellent container blueberry varieties include Top Hat, which is a true dwarf staying under 2 feet tall, Sunshine Blue with its compact size and beautiful blue-green foliage, and Pink Lemonade producing absolutely stunning pink blueberries that are genuinely as gorgeous as they are delicious. Plant blueberries in 15-gallon pots filled with acidic potting mix specifically formulated for azaleas and rhododendrons, and place them in full sun for the best fruit production possible. Most blueberry varieties produce more abundantly when planted with at least one other compatible variety nearby for cross-pollination, so plan to grow 2 different varieties together if you possibly can. A single mature blueberry bush in a pot can produce 3 to 5 pounds of fresh berries per year, and the foliage turns absolutely stunning shades of red and orange in fall, providing beautiful seasonal color along with the delicious harvest. 8. Dwarf cherry. Number 8 is the dwarf cherry tree, which produces those absolutely irresistible jewel-like red fruits that are honestly worth their weight in gold when you compare grocery store prices to homegrown abundance. Fresh sweet cherries are ridiculously expensive to buy at the supermarket, often costing $6 to $8 per pound during their incredibly short summer season, but a single dwarf cherry tree in a pot can produce more cherries than your family can possibly eat fresh, with plenty extra for freezing, baking pies, and making homemade preserves. Dwarf cherry trees have been specifically bred to stay small while still producing full-sized, delicious cherries. Excellent dwarf cherry varieties for container growing include Compact Stella with its sweet, dark red cherries on a self-pollinating tree, Romeo and Juliet, which are bush-type cherries staying around 6 feet tall with sweet tart fruits perfect for both fresh eating and baking, and Carmine Jewel offering compact size with abundant deep red cherries. Most sweet cherries require a second compatible variety nearby for proper cross-pollination, but the bush cherries and varieties like Stella are self-fertile, making them perfect for situations where you only have room for a single tree. Plant your dwarf cherry in a 20-gallon pot with rich, well-drained soil and place it in full sun. The white spring flowers are absolutely stunning, and the trees offer beautiful ornamental value throughout the entire growing season, in addition to producing those incredibly delicious cherries. Point 9. Avocado tree. And finally, at number 9, the tree that produces some of the most exotic and delicious fruit you will ever experience right from your own balcony, as I promised at the beginning. This is the avocado tree, which most people genuinely have no idea you can actually grow successfully in a container in almost any climate. While it does take patience and proper care to get fruit from a potted avocado, the journey is honestly absolutely worth it. And even without fruit, avocado trees make absolutely stunning ornamental plants with their large, glossy, dark green leaves and elegant tropical appearance that brings real exotic flair to any patio or balcony. For container growing, you genuinely want to look for dwarf or semi-dwarf varieties that have been grafted onto dwarfing rootstocks, since avocado trees grown from regular grocery store pits can take 7 to 15 years to produce fruit, if they ever produce at all. Excellent container avocado varieties include Wurtz, also called Little Cato, which is a true dwarf staying around 8 to 10 feet tall, Holiday with its semi-dwarf habit, and Day with its compact size and reliable fruit production. Plant your avocado in a 20 to 25 gallon pot with well-drained potting soil and place it in your sunniest spot possible. Avocados are tropical plants that cannot tolerate any frost, so bring them indoors for winter in any climate that experiences freezing temperatures, placing them near your brightest sunny window. With proper care, a grafted dwarf avocado can start producing those incredibly delicious creamy fruits within 3 to 4 years of planting. So there you have it, 9 absolutely incredible fruit trees that you can grow in containers, no matter how small your outdoor space might be. Meyer lemon, fig, pomegranate, Calamandan orange, columnar apple, dwarf peach, blueberry, dwarf cherry, and the exotic avocado. Plant any of these in pots on your balcony, patio, or deck, and you will quickly realize that having a small space is absolutely no barrier to growing your own delicious, homegrown fruit. The taste of fruit you grew yourself, picked at perfect ripeness from a tree just steps from your kitchen, is honestly an experience that store-bought fruit simply cannot match in any way. Here is the most important thing I want you to take away from this video. Successful container fruit growing comes down to 3 absolutely critical factors that you must get right from the very beginning. First, you need a pot that is genuinely large enough for the tree to develop a healthy, strong root system, typically 15 to 25 gallons, depending on the specific tree variety. Going too small will permanently stunt your tree and significantly reduce fruit production for the rest of its life. Second, you need excellent quality, well-draining potting soil. Never regular garden soil, which becomes compacted and waterlogged in containers and will quickly kill any fruit tree. Third, you need consistent watering, because container plants dry out much faster than plants in the ground, and inconsistent watering causes massive stress that drastically reduces fruit production. Fertilization is absolutely critical for container fruit trees because the limited soil volume in a pot simply cannot supply all the nutrients a productive fruit tree genuinely needs to thrive. Use a balanced fruit tree fertilizer or a citrus-specific fertilizer for citrus trees, applying it monthly during the active growing season from spring through early fall. Do not fertilize during winter when the trees are dormant, since this can disrupt their natural rest cycle and harm overall plant health. Repotting your fruit trees every 2 to 3 years with fresh soil also helps maintain their long-term productivity, since old depleted soil eventually loses its ability to support vigorous, healthy growth no matter how much fertilizer you add to compensate. For those of you in cold climates, do not let freezing winters discourage you from trying these wonderful container fruit trees. Most cold, tender varieties can be successfully overwintered indoors near a sunny window, in a heated garage, or in a basement with grow lights set up for the darkest months of the year. Hardy varieties like figs, columnar apples, dwarf cherries, and blueberries can survive winter outdoors in their pots with some basic insulation, like wrapping the pot in burlap or moving the trees to a sheltered location against the south side of your home. With just a little planning and effort, you can absolutely grow productive fruit trees in containers anywhere in the country, regardless of how harsh your winters might be. If this video opened your eyes to the absolutely amazing possibilities of container fruit growing, please give it a thumbs up so the algorithm shares it with more apartment dwellers, condo owners, and small space gardeners who think they cannot grow their own fruit. Drop a comment below and let me know which of these 9 fruit trees you are most excited to try growing in your own outdoor space. Or, if you already grow some of these in containers, please share your favorite varieties, your honest experiences, and your hard-earned tips with this incredible community. Read every single comment, and I genuinely love hearing from gardeners around the world who are making big harvests happen in tiny spaces. And if you have not subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button so you do not miss our upcoming videos on container vegetable gardening, the easiest fruits for absolute beginners, and how to create stunning edible landscapes in even the smallest spaces. Remember, every single one of us deserves to experience the absolute magic of harvesting our own homegrown fruit, regardless of whether we have 10 acres of countryside or just a tiny apartment balcony with a few hours of sunshine each day. Nature does not care how much space you have. She just needs decent soil, adequate sunshine, consistent water, and a little bit of love and attention from you. Now get out there, pick a few of these wonderful container fruit trees, get them planted in nice big pots, and start your own miniature backyard orchard right where you actually live. Until next time, happy container gardening, my friends, and may your small spaces produce big, delicious harvests for many years to come.